What's good, y'all? Welcome to Game Day Nation Athletics, episode 29.
29.
Here's the rundown for today's show, y'all boys and girls. All right. Colin Kaepernick's future in the NFL. We have MLB's future. What that stands in, will popularly lose or not. We'll see. Then you got Bundesliga Recap. All right, Omar. Let's start with the Colin Kaepernick story right here.
Colin Kaepernick. As you guys know, there's a lot of political issues with Colin Kaepernick. However, we're not going to go into that because politics are touchy stuff.
Very touchy.
People are touchy. So, we're just going to strictly stay in sports, of course. With Kaepernick, we already knew that Kaepernick, he went to the Super Bowl, played against the Ravens, Jim Harbaugh, right? Yeah, Jim Harbaugh.
Against his brother,
versus his brother. Yep. Jim. And it was a pretty exciting Super Bowl because it was brother versus brother. It was dope. It was cool. It was something new. It was different, right? However, we are going to look at his whole career throughout the whole NFL from 2011 to 2016. As you guys know, from 2011, that's when he got drafted. Of course, he didn't start right away because, it was rookie season.
Yeah, and Alex Smith was the starter at the time with the 49ers.
See, some people forgot. The man wasn't with the 49ers. All right, so then move on to 2012. He finally became the starting. He got the starting job, right? And he actually did pretty well on his starting job. He 1,800 yards for passing, and it's not really bad. 10 interceptions, but that's all right. 10 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. But he was mainly a rusher at that time, so I'm not gonna give him the benefit of doubt. But
he did a lot with his legs.
He did a lot with his legs. Yeah, 415 rushing yards. We had to give him props. But 2012 season, entering 2013 year, he did go to the Super Bowl. So, kudos to him. You had Frank Gore. You also had Crabtree at the time. And those two were at the top of their prime. And Anquan Bolden. Those were great receivers. Great running back. Frank Gore. Come on. Frank Gore is always good. So that's the GOAT. That's a given.
He's still playing his league to this day.
Still playing to this day. All right.
And you got to remember, Colin Kaepernick. That was the same game, actually, when you had the whole blackout thing, when the lights went off, and the 49ers were losing. They came back, and honestly, seeing Kaepernick play, he seemed like he had a great chance. He didn't play bad, but he didn't play great. His stats was 16 off of 28, 302 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. So you can say it was a solid game.
It was a team winning.
For him to be this was his second year in the league,
and
go to the Super Bowl and perform this way. The final score for this Super Bowl was 34-31. But honestly, I felt like it wasn't as close as the score tells you because the 49ers get 31 points in the end because the Ravens did get a safety towards the end, so they get burn out the clock. But the 49ers did have a fighting chance throughout the middle of the game because they get blown out in the first half. They came back, but ultimately the Ravens were just a better team. They were destroying the 49ers out there, in my opinion.
Yeah. So moving on to 2013, he did even better than his 2012 season. For 2013, he had 3,100 yards, about to be 3,200 yards for receiving, and a good 524 rushing yards. So he did a great job on his 2013 season. I think that was his best season there was for him, even though he didn't go back to the Super Bowl. However, Harbaugh, he did kind of got fired because of that season. So I can't blame Kaepernick for his drop the next season, but it is what it is. That's business, right?
Yeah, 2014.
Yeah, 2014 season. Even though he has more rushing yards, however, he has more interceptions. And I feel like he was kind of forcing the ball a little bit, but he had lower rushing yards at this time.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, back in 2013 was the year when they went to the NFC Championship game. They lost to the Seahawks.
Yep.
Now this next year, that's when they went down. They were at 8-8.
Mm-hmm. But he had more rushing yards. However, he was throwing the ball. He was forcing it. He had more attempts. But what can you say? It happens sometimes. Sometimes you panic because it's all about you. You're the leader now.
That's true. Yep. Now, one thing I don't understand what the 49ers front office was thinking at the time, but they fired Jim Harbaugh after this 8-8 season. After that, Jim Harbaugh taking them to the Super Bowl, taking to the NFC Championship game, and then you fire him after he had one bad season.
One bad season.
Come on, it's not even a losing season. It's a It's a 500 season. 8-8. I didn't understand why they got rid. I think, and that, to be honest, I think that hurt Kaepernick in a way because Jim Harbaugh was his head coach. You know,
his head coach. He technically brought him up.
Yeah, someone to look up to, and then you take him away. You bring in a whole brand new coaching system, which was what's his name? It was Jim Tomsula.
Tomsula.
I don't even know how to say his name. And he only played that for. He only was a head coach for that one season.
Year, yeah.
That one season
year.
Went 5-11. And you want to know what happened after that year? They hired Chip Kelly.
Look,
I don't understand what the foreigners were thinking at that time.
I don't know why these teams decide to fire these 8-8 coach. I understand you want your team to be great. However, look at Jason Garrett. He technically goes 8-8 every season.
And they
kept this man every year. I don't know why, but he finally got fired. Finally, but let's get back to Kaepernick's stats. Right, 2015 season, he went downhill. I mean, skyrocketed downhill. When we look at his roster, we think because I believe it was Frank Gore. He left. Crabtree, he didn't cut it. Anquan Bolden, I believe he retired.
No, Anquan Bolden played for 2015.
2015.
Torrey Smith, Garrett Selleck was the tight end, Vince McDonald the tight end, and Carlos Hyde is the running back. So that was their starter, and they had Joe Staley at the time as their right tackle.
At the time, they had a whole bunch of young players. A lot of the old veteran players who went to the championship, who went to the conference games, stuff like that, they all left. They all got traded.
Majority of them.
Yeah. So, I mean, Kaepernick lost his team, so obviously his stats.
And you gotta remember, brand new coaching staff too.
Brand
new system.
So his 2014 season, he had 3,300 yards.
2015, man.
But 2014 right now.
Okay.
But 2015 season, he went down to 1,600 yards. So that is a big drop right there. But he did try to pick himself up on the 2016 season, his last
season with the 49ers.
Yep. And he only got 2,200 yards. He did kind of improve a little bit better. He scored more touchdowns than his 2015 season. He had less interception in the 2015 season. I believe that with a better situation now, he was more comfortable with the players. He kind of gotten better, but slowly gotten better.
I do remember Kaepernick did get benched, I believe, in the first half of the season.
Yep.
Or the second half of the season. I could be mistaken.
He only played 12 games that season. So, I mean, if he would have stayed in the league a little bit longer, I feel like he would have gotten better as a player, but would have played for a different team.
All I remember back then is that I think he had some years left in his contract with the 49ers, but he didn't want to stay there. He said he wanted to test the free agent market.
Yep.
Because it was a toxic situation, as you know, the whole controversy behind him kneeling for the national anthem. And he's like, you know what, I'm not trying to stay in for San Francisco. I'm trying to go somewhere else. But ultimately, he never got the chance to sign with any other team. As you know, the league basically blackballed him for not signing with any other team.
But he got technically banned from the NFL, right? So now, as we see in the news and stuff like that, as we hear from Roger Goodell, he's technically been reinstated, even though his name has been said in the
it's only right
like that.
It's only right that he does.
Yeah, he got reinstated, right? So now, let's look at his future. But before we get to his future, people forgot that he could have been in the NFL last season or this coming up season already.
Kaepernick did have opportunities to come back to the league.
Multiple opportunities. I understand there's still a lot of hate from him and stuff like that with the whole NFL and stuff. However, he had opportunities. He had opportunities with Seahawks, just a few. Seahawks, the Dolphins, and I believe the Patriots at the time. But he was asking for too much money in a starting role, even though he hasn't played for a season for 3 years.
You don't really have enough tape to show that he deserved to be a starter.
Now, think about this. Would you rather pick up some guy who had a pretty losing record, who was kind of slumping down in his previous, 4 or 5 seasons? Well, he only slumped down for 2 seasons. Well, he was slumping down for 2 seasons, and he hasn't been in the league for 3 seasons. You're going to pull him back and put a starting role on your team? I mean, no hate against him whatsoever. However,
if we're just talking about stats and football
and franchise standpoint, your face of the future, he was not the face at all because he wanted starting money. He wanted the starting role altogether, but nobody wouldn't give it to him. What? It was like $21-22 million for 1 year.
Nah, it was not worth it
Because
teams didn't know if he was going to be a star or not. And if they were looking for a backup, why would they pay $20 million for a backup? They could just easily got someone off the draft for cheap.
On top of that, he want to pick and choose the team that he want to go to. It doesn't really work like that, right? But again, no hate whatsoever on Kaepernick. However, I feel like he can progress in the NFL right now, but it all depends on what team he goes to. Right now, there aren't many teams that are open to pick up a quarterback because they all have the quarterbacks that they wanted or looking at. So, because when we think about Cam Newton, he's still out of a job. So if he's still out of a job, there's
what was it that
Kaepernick is gonna go back in. I mean, you could think about health issues. Like Kaepernick is healthier than Cam Newton. So maybe that's.
I think the only way Kaepernick gets signed to a team it has probably the middle of the season, which is the same thing I thought about Cam Newton.
Yep.
But honestly,
he has to be a backup first, man.
Because my thoughts were I felt like he should have played in XFL, and teams were questioning him like, hey, why not? Not teams, fans in general, us the viewers, us in general. We're like, why not Kaepernick play in XFL? He's like, I'm not trying to play in XFL. Like, I'm trying to play for the NFL or nothing. I was like, Kaepernick, I understand that. But
you're not trying to make a point. You're not trying to lose the battle of dignity. However, when you think about the future standpoint of your career, because I know you want to play football again. However, you need to show that you could still play in a real game, a meaningful
exactly
game.
Because teams don't have that. Don't have that much evidence. The last known game that I saw you play was back in 2016. That was years ago. We're in 2020,
and all we see are just workout videos. Anyone can do workout videos. Exactly. However, can you still play the game? Can you still time manage? Can you still have that competitiveness like every other player?
Exactly. And I feel like I understand you wouldn't be making NFL time money in the XFL, but at least you had that exposure out there because you know teams were going to be watching. But of course, XFL they disbanded pretty early. But
abruptly.
I mean, you got people like PJ Walker that had 6 games on film, and he got signed to a team, the Carolina Panthers, where he has a chance to be a starter for the team.
A chance to be a starter. And I feel like Kaepernick, if he would have done AFL or XFL, he would be in that same position, same boat.
Exactly. Teams would have fallen in love with him just like teams were falling in love with PJ Walker.
Because the only highlights they have is your 2016. But I think what they really want to look at is your 2012, 2013 season because that's where you played your best season.
But remember, that was years ago.
That was years ago.
You don't know if you're going to be that same type of player.
We don't know. I mean, I understand people are going to give him hype. I mean, look, he has all this time to condition to work out with other players. However, it's not the same adrenaline that you have when someone's trying to rush into you. Can you still play under your pocket? Can you still play when you're pressured?
I think it's important that Kaepernick, if he wants to really get the team, he needs to, if he really wants to stay in the team and get be a starter, he needs to play in the preseason this coming season. He needs to get signed before preseason starts. Yeah. So he gets because obviously in preseason, most backups, second string, third string players, that's where they get their rep time. That's where they can really showcase what they're about. And Kaepernick, I think it's very important that he does that. So Kaepernick, he needs to get signed before preseason if he really wants a chance. Because if he doesn't get signed by preseason and he waits till the middle of the season, I promise you, Kaepernick, you're not gonna get that QB type money, and you have to wait a whole another year again to get back to the league.
I feel like actually if he waits out this coming up season, I don't think he's gonna get picked up by any team anymore.
Because look, Father Prime wins all the time, and each year you wait, you get older and older, and you're not that same type of player you were 5 years ago.
Yeah, and
now I understand. I mean, it's been 4 years where you haven't had the feeling getting hit and everything, and your body deteriorating.
Yep. So
you're in better shape, but I don't know. Who knows?
You're physically in better shape, but
that's true. But you're not getting used to hit by players and everything. So once you get back on the field,
pocket awareness is gonna be shaky for sure. I don't know if he still has it or not. However, Kaepernick, if you are watching this, I believe in you. I believe anyone can actually perform better in the NFL if they tried. If you actually not play by their rules, but if you stick to what you believe in and actually have that gut.
You had big time moments in the league a couple times, and you have a chance to get there.
Yeah, you've been to the playoffs. You've been to the Super Bowl.
And I believe you will, but sometimes you just got to take sacrifices. You're not going to get that QB type money. So get as much bread as you can, whatever contract you sign,
and build your resume up again.
I believe the best situation for him to go to, even though it's not really the best situation, is the Jaguars, because that QB room is pretty open. And I believe you can win that QB room. I mean, like I said, I think Cam Newton should go to Jacksonville because that QB room is pretty open too. But hey, as we know, it's pretty obvious Jacksonville's trying to tank to get that on Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields sweepstakes.
However, it doesn't hurt to try it, but it still gets you on the field though.
Exactly. And you're in an NFL team going against NFL top teams, opponents, and defenses.
And these players are bigger and faster.
Exactly. So Kaepernick showcase what you're all about, man.
Yep.
All right. Well, that wraps up Collins Kaepernick's hand, man. Let's head on to the future for the MLB. Now, as we know, Omar, if you watch our first videos when we first started this channel, we were talking about how MLB could be the savior.
Could be the savior.
Could be Superman, come for the rescue for us American fans out there, because it seemed like the MLB were actually destined to be the first league to start up in Arizona. Because at the time, back in early April, it looked like NBA wasn't gonna happen.
Nope.
There was big question marks with the NFL, college football, but the MLB, the future looked bright. It's like, yo, let's start up our league back in Arizona. We use the facilities over there for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Like, it's a great situation.
Yeah,
we're happy. You see how the table has been turned now that the MLB is looking like they're gonna be canceled. NBA is coming back in late July. NFL looks pretty bright to start up again this season. It's pretty insane. What happened? What happened to MLB? And obviously, the question is, what happened to them is what money-wise. MLBPA, the league owners cannot come to agreement with salaries, man. Salary cuts. And you hate to see it, too. You hate to see it. What's your take on that, Omar?
Honestly, I had high praise for MLB because I'm like, wow, Arizona, this is going to be big. Having all the players, even though players at the time, they're like, whoa. Obviously, because they were offering pay cuts too during that time when they were starting to do Arizona and stuff, right? They're offering pay cuts like, oh, we got to do pay cuts because no fans. This is the beginning when they're starting to do proposals, right? Players, they were kind of scared. This is during the obviously
the peak of the virus, and then
this was the peak of the virus at the time. So obviously, players were scared to play in stadiums packed together, and they're afraid.
They're already, if they were gonna play in Arizona, I think they were already planning to have no fans anyways.
Yeah. But it would have been interesting to see. However, now the whole coronavirus thing has died down, and people are slowly to forget about it. Now these players want their full money and want to play a longer game, and as a fan viewpoint, MLB, they lost their opportunity to become the first team.
Because if the MLB if they were able to start their season before NBA, NFL do, then guess what? You have the majority of the viewership.
More money.
You gain exposure.
Yep.
You gain popularity, and this is something that we talked about. MLB needs. People don't really watch MLB games like that. It's like, for example, when you have the draft coming up. And by the way,
draft is coming up.
It's coming up for MLB on ESPN for the first time.
Kudos to them, man.
That they're having multi-platform to showcase the draft.
And we're just talking about that.
And it's about time they do this. I understand the situation right now because there's no sports going on, so what do you have to lose? But they should keep this up. They should do this every year. Why have the draft only on MLB Network? Now, I have Hulu. We have Hulu live stream, right?
Yep.
We don't got MLB Network, and you got me bent. I'm gonna go out and buy MLB Network on my own. No. Okay, because I got my regional channels to watch my Marlins play. You got ESPN. You got Fox Sports. You got TBS when the playoff starts. So why do I have to pay MLB Network for it? Come on now. But as a view, because look, baseball's not my number one sport. It's not my number one cup of tea.
It's not number.
But if you put that in front of my face and you show me a highlight, if you show me people on doing home runs and stuff like with Bryce
I'll
Harper,
watch it. Yeah,
you got me watching. You got me like, ooh, you got me interested. I mean, every summer I'm always interested in MLB. And like we talked about when they had the home run derby back in I think it was in Cleveland.
Yep.
Oh my God, it was insane. You actually had me watching it. You actually had me watching it. MLB gotta keep up with its popularity, but this is not the case now because they're not starting the league this season. It doesn't look like it will.
Look, man. See, MLB, they always came clutch when there's hard times.
And that's true.
And we talked about this before. Yeah, World War II and you have 9/11. And now you have this whole coronavirus pandemic. They could have came clutch.
Could have came to the rescue, man.
Could have came to the rescue. Could have brought back sports that we loved and known. However, contracts, money, negotiations, owners, time. It's horrible, man. And now I feel like this will hurt. Not just I feel it will hurt MLB altogether, because this will prove the stances for the future contract negotiations between owners and players. So I'm actually kind of curious to see how it's gonna play out, like through 2021, 2022, and stuff like that. To see how the future contract's going to work out, and it's gonna be interesting to see.
And you see the league, like the NBA. The NBA players agreed to take a 25% pay cut. Now, how come? And you know, NBA players, you know, they get paid a lot of money.
They do.
But why couldn't MLB why couldn't they agree on that? I'm not sure how much percentage that the MLB wanted to take out for the players, but it could not have been.
It was around 30%.
30%. What? It should have been lower. It should have been maybe 25%.
20.
And they could have at least agree to something between those lines. And I think MVP would have taken it. Or actually, no, I doubt it would have taken it. I don't think they wanted their full salary.
They want full salary, yeah. They weren't taking that.
And MLB said, well, you can get this 50-game season, just know, and you can get this 50-game season, what full salaries? They're like, no, wait a minute, no, we want a full 114-game season, and with our full salaries. No, you want that, then you're going to have to take pay cuts, buddy. But that wasn't the case. They just couldn't agree to it, and you hate to see it. Right now, the stance of the MLB looks like it's going down. Looks like they're not happy. And like we talk about popularity, this hurts them actually, popularity-wise, because no baseball this season. And
they lost new fans.
And you had a hot headline coming in this season too, because you had the Houston Astros where they're cheating scandals.
Yep.
And now
people forgot about that.
People are gonna like, whoa, all right. So what the Astros gonna do this season? You know, or how the Red Sox, because wasn't it one of them?
Yeah, we fired him, man. Yeah.
Exactly. So it was pretty interesting. Or can the Yankees finally get over that hump and go to a World Series? Because regular season, you could be the best team in the regular season, but it does not matter if you don't win
playoffs. Yeah,
you know, if you don't win playoffs, you don't win World Series. So there was a bunch of great headlines coming into the season.
Yeah, it was great headlines.
And now we gotta wait. It's not gonna be the same next year. We're not gonna talk about this by next year because we don't know what the stance of the player. We don't know the players still gonna be in the team.
All we're gonna talk about is MLB PA versus the owners. That's the main headline. This has been the main headline for a month now. When you really think about it, it's been a whole month for this whole.
And honestly, PA. Omar, I think I blame the PA that they could not agree some with the owners, because at this point you got to talk about get whatever I can get.
Yeah, owners. I feel like they gave them an opportunity to play with full money. I understand it's not your normal length of a long game. However, they thought about the health. They thought about the viewership. They're like, you're getting paid all this money.
And Omar, we talked about this.
For 50 games.
And we talked about this in our early videos that we feel like MLB have too much games. I think they didn't reduce their games.
Mm-hmm.
And this season would have been a great opportunity to test it.
And plus, you won't have to worry about those back-to-back games. And you can actually kind of space it out.
Exactly. Like, players need some rest. And baseball is one of those sports where there's no breaks.
Mm-hmm.
Every day. Like, in the NBA, at least you could at least get off of training, go home, go to your wife, go to your family, go out with the boys. You're able to do that stuff.
There's a few, back-to-back games though, but
like in MLB, you're pretty like in a strict schedule with your teammates and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's pretty good because there's brotherhood over there. You're in that environment with the boys. But I think if the 50 game would have been pretty interesting to see, because now the regular season is very important now.
Yeah.
And I said, like, you know what? My sense was that have the regular season, no playoffs. Whoever wins the regular season for each division are division champs. And if you wanted to, whoever's the best team on each conference champions, and leave it like that. Have an asterisk, and boom. Because I ain't gonna lie, World Series baseball was not the same with no fans.
Yeah,
with no fans, and that's why I said that. Stand. People might have disagreements with that, but I said that because there's no fans in the World Series. World Series with no fans. Come on.
You can't have any big championship game without fans. I totally believe that. It won't feel the same. It doesn't have the same outcome. I don't know.
But this is what Peter is just saying, how we're going to see with the NFL with their Super Bowl. We'll see. We don't know how the situation is going to be by February with the whole NFL thing. Will they be able to have fans in the stadium or not? We'll see what happens.
Yeah. But fun fact, before we move on, KBO, if you guys watched it, now instead of
they got stuffed animals.
The dolls anymore, they had stuffed animals.
Yeah.
I thought that was very interesting. You see SpongeBob in the background.
Yeah, there's a picture right there. Yeah, stuffed animals. Got Hello Kitty. You got SpongeBob in there.
Yeah.
You got Pokemon. You
mean,
see Pikachu right there.
They did get what was almost became a lawsuit with all the
Because
dolls.
the sex dolls they had. Freaking KBO, man. You know what? I'm really inching into watching KBO full games. If I have to wake up 3 in the morning to watch the KBO games, I will.
I watched some.
By the way, like I said, before we go on to this, hey, all you gamers out there, Twitch fans out there.
My gosh.
I'm not talking about soccer right now.
I know, man.
Hey, because I searched on YouTube. I don't see a lot of MLB to show like on games. Like, gamers showing out. Since there's no MLB season this year, hit your boy up. I'll buy MLB the show. I'll have live streams. I'm going to be, you know what? I'm going to choose a random team. I'm going to be the Oakland Athletics. I'm going to take them to the Promised End World Series.
Do you understand what you just said?
Hit up to the comments. Let me know. You want to see a series like that.
Pretty garbage.
I will not make them garbage. I'll beat the Boston Red Sox 4 times or whatever to get there. Because the Red Sox suck.
You're telling stories.
Patriots suck. Celtics suck. Bruins suck. You suck. You garbage.
I'm garbage. First of all,
I want the hate. Give me all the hate from the Boston natives out there. You guys are spoiled.
We're spoiled.
You're spoiled sports fans.
Spoiled sports fans.
Yes. You'll lose one game, it's the end of the world. Y'all go out there and destroy stuff, saying this team is garbage, this and that. Well, I got teams like Miami where we lose 5 games and that's normal to us.
But you had the Heat.
Well, now they're getting good. But what happened before?
Garbage.
We weren't that successful since back in 2014 when that was our last finals run.
You seem really upset over there.
I'm sorry.
I didn't even say anything. You just attacking me. I feel kind
I'm just tired of you, Omar. I'm just tired of you always like.
That's personal, man.
I'm just tired of you.
You better keep your emotions in your pocket.
You want to talk about the Celtics and everything, how you guys are winning, or the Patriots. I'm like, damn, man, I can't relate.
I haven't talked about the Celtics in like a minute.
You've talked about our last video.
We did.
Yes.
But we were talking about basketball.
You know how much it hurt?
Nope.
That you able to talk about that, but I can't talk about my team winning.
What are you talking about? The Heat still.
Well, I'm talking Boston sports in general.
Whose fault that they can't hire good coaches?
Whatever, man. Hey, hold on. We're gonna move into the Bundesliga recap real quick.
So if you guys remember on Friday, we had a wager match, right? And
no one won.
Nobody won, so nobody's gonna take the shot at all. So I'm actually really happy because Sunday I woke up, I was scared, and then next thing you know, bam, it was a tie.
I had none of the predictions I did this Friday were correct. I got one right.
I got one right, and I'm pretty happy about that. And it was the Goats versus Augsburg.
Aren't you a lucky duck?
Yeah, man. So I'm actually really happy about that. With the standings, there's no changes in the standings at all.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of draws and ties.
There's a picture right here for the standings. As you see, it's pretty same.
Oh, it was pretty simple. There was a lot of low-scoring games. A lot of games that were unexpected. Like Borussia Dortmund, they only scored 1 point versus Hertha Berlin. I got them doing 3-2.
Yeah. Well, all right, it's just good. This is good. The quick rundown. Then we'll talk about each score. So, Sports Club Freiburg, they beat Borussia Mönchengladbach by 1-0. Wow, I'm really shocked about that. But that's Bundesliga for you. Second game, you had Fortuna against Hoffenheim. Okay, they ended up tying 2-2. I actually had Hoffenheim winning. Did you? Yeah, you had them winning too. Frankfurt, they lost against Mainz, 2-0. Bayern Munich against Leverkusen, 4-2.
It's actually pretty closer than I expected.
Then Dortmund.
Yeah.
But hey, now I think this was the disappointing game of the week.
Red
Bull's tie with Paderborn.
Does that sound familiar?
Now, I'm not trying to rant or anything, but yes, yesterday I did play FIFA. I'm playing with Schalke, if you didn't know already.
Yep.
Currently, right now, my record is 16-2-5. Now, let me tell you this. It's pretty sad because Paderborn, in my league right now, they're dead last, just like in real life. But can you believe the 2 games I played against them? I tied with them once, and I lost to them second.
Oh, you garbage.
But I'm like 4th place in the league, though.
That don't mean nothing.
You don't mean nothing.
You still be trash.
I'm not trash no more. Play me.
All right.
I'll expose you out there in the field, man.
Expose. Okay.
But anyways, I'm tired with them. But wow, what a disappointment for the Red Bulls. I had them winning 4-0. 4-0, and then you got tired.
I'm not gonna lie, I had one 5-0. It was disappointing.
Disappointing. I don't know what happened. And Red Bulls were just on a hot streak.
They were in a hot streak. That's why I expected them to win. I mean, why?
And they lose. They were going against good teams, winning, and they end up losing against Paderborn. No, tying against Paderborn.
Does that sound familiar?
Out of all teams,
Yeah,
yes,
man.
I'm worried that sound familiar. I'm disappointed. And I'm still winning the league. Anyways, Borussia Dortmund against Hertha Berlin, 1-0. Pretty fair. Pretty fair. All right. Werder Bremen against Wolfsburg. Wolfsburg won 1-0. And the game that we were better on,
FC Union
and
Berlin
Schalke. Now let's talk about this game real quick. I actually thought Schalke would have won this game, but they played terrible. Terrible. I'm surprised that Hertha Berlin didn't score a goal. No, Union Berlin. I'm surprised they didn't score a second goal on them.
See, look.
It was a bad game.
I have faith in Union Berlin. You know why? Because they did pretty well. They could have done better. However, they handled Schalke, and I feel like they could have scored one more goal for him to take a shot. Because I know he had dreams about it, waking up on Sunday. But hey, what can you do? It is what it is.
Yeah.
I had 2-1. Obviously, they want to tie. But the real disappointment, the GOATs that he's been crazy about, because they're the GOATs, right? But however, they want to have a tie 1-1 with FC Augsburg. How that happened? What happened to the GOATs? Well, I'm saying they're the GOATs. Well, I mean, all that hype, they want to do this. I got it right. If you watch the video Friday, he was like, "Oh, they're the GOATs. Do you know who they are? They're the GOATs. This and that and that." I don't care about that mess. You saw the score? 1-1. Disappointment.
I actually feel a lot disappointed for FC Cologne than I do for Schalke.
I would too, because I mean, starting from the beginning of the whole series,
Bundesliga series, we did.
This man has been riding the GOATs all the way, man. I mean, he was hyping them up. They're great. They're the GOATs. They do everything. Greatest all the time. All that stuff, right? But they want to do this. They don't deserve to be in a position that they're in.
Well, I will say this. At least they're not facing deregulation, going to Division 2. They're in the middle of the pack right now.
Yep, no changes though. That's what surprised me.
But look, this year was their downfall. But next year, they're going to win it all.
Next year. So you're just giving up hope on this year?
They're going up. Wait. Because obviously they're not going to the Champions League this year.
Oh,
or Europa League.
No,
definitely
even close.
Not. But they'll use this as fuel.
Fuel.
And they're going to go to the Champions League next year.
Yeah, preaching me.
They're possibly going to beat Bayern Munich to win
possibly
the Bundesliga League Championship.
Bayern Munich. Did you just heard what you just said?
I heard what I said.
Okay.
I think it's going to happen. Because right now Bayern Munich is on the hot streak. They've been winning this league championship since 2011.
And you said they're going to beat them.
No. They won't beat them. They'll tie one game, lose one game. But Borussia Dortmund and other teams will basically help Cologne get into the top.
Help Cologne. So you're saying all these other teams
they're gonna like beat Bayern Munich. They're gonna tie once with Bayern Munich and lose one game against Bayern Munich. But Dortmund will probably win a game and tie a game with Bayern Munich. Bayern will probably lose one or two games with other teams. But ultimately, FC Cologne will win league championship.
You're putting a lot of faith in this team.
I will.
Man,
we'll remember back this next year.
I'll hold it to you. And they're versing FC Union Berlin.
They're gonna win that game
on June 13th. This man's GOATs.
The GOATs, man.
Are versing Union Berlin.
The GOATs.
And we already know Union Berlin, they tied up with Schalke.
Schalke's a different story, though.
Don't mean nothing. See, you said Schalke's going to win and stuff like that. Why not FC Union win versus the GOATs?
Schalke will win. No. The GOATs will win. It would be FC Union Berlin easily.
Look, stay tuned for Friday's video because obviously this man, he praises the GOATs to the point where it's I
praise the GOATs like they're my own team, man.
Yeah, man, and they're not. That's the crazy thing. See, we're seeing the disappointment. See, he wants another team to disappoint him. Here he has the Dolphins. Here he has the Heat. Wow. Here he has the Marlins. Why pick the GOATs? Another team to bring more hatred to his body.
What can I say? I love underdogs.
That is an underdog. You keep losing.
I'm not a bandwagon that goes to the best team all the time, Omar.
But having bandwagon at all.
I'm just speaking.
Exactly. No, don't talk to me. I haven't gone on your team. No, man. Well, yeah, stay tuned for Friday because I'm kind of excited with these predictions. See who takes a shot because it's been a minute since someone took this shot of apple cider vinegar.
It's good for your health.
It's good for your health. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
But
anyways, I will say this again, and I will keep saying this. MLB, how dare you? But if you want us to review the KBO, let us know. We'll do all that. And by the way, this week, I know La Liga comes back this Thursday. So let us know if you want to do any review right there. You feel me? Definitely, we're going to review the El Clasico with Real Madrid versus Barcelona.
Yep,
I don't know when that game is happening, but they're expected to play against each other. So big game right there. Also, you have the Premier League come back next week. We're definitely going to review the Premier League. There's like 9 games left in the season. So check us out there. Plus the Bundesliga is almost done. They have about like 5 games left in the season. No, actually 4 games, right?
Yeah, just about.
So the league's almost coming to a close, sadly. And I want to thank Bundesliga for giving us this opportunity, for bringing us on content right here.
Even though they
want to copyright us.
And
while we're trying to like showcase you guys out there,
we're only informing and educating.
That's where we are. I'm looking at you, buddy. You ruin our videos, man. I'm looking at you, man. Come on, man.
Some publicity is good publicity.
Help your boys out, man. Promise you, we'll get credit all the time. And I would love to get sponsored by the Bundesliga, or even better, by the Ghosts FC Cologne. I would love to get sponsored by you guys. But that's all I'm gonna say.
I'm just gonna bully you.
That's all I'm gonna say. FC Cologne, League Champions 2021. Let's get it. My name is Steven.
You give me a false hope. My name is Omar.
Watching Gameday Nation Athletics, man. Stay tuned, y'all. Take care.